This short story is called Birdhouse. You were building it before. I did my best, but the cage swung softly from side to side as a poignant reminder of what was to come. The men behind the wheels operated mechanically, their actions devoid of any emotion or investment. Lowering and raising cages was just another task in their routine. Cleaning the cages falls to someone else as well. Today, beneath the scorching sun, I find myself trapped within that cage, desperately hoping to avoid being cleaned out of it. The event will commence once both cages reach the bottom of the pit. The announcement reverberated through the pit, drowned out by cheers from onlookers. They had nothing better to do than gather at the market to watch a fool die. Do you remember this? I finished it for you. I whispered the words into existence, stealing a glance at the opponent's cage descending alongside mine. She held a man, and if people were placing bets, their money would be on him. Women rarely emerge from the pit alive when paired with a man. He glared at me, his gaze fixed since the cage doors closed. I wondered what thoughts occupied his mind. Was he frightened? Maybe worried I was more than I appeared? Or was I simply an obstacle standing between him and his rise? The cage touched the bottom of the pit, and as he swung his door wide open, I knew I would soon find out. Come on out. Don't make this any harder than it needs to be, he said. My fingers brushed against the scorching metal door, causing it to squeak as it slowly creaked open. His hand extended toward me, and in another life, I might have thought it was an act of a gentleman. But I know why we're here. I stepped out and assisted. Do you have a family, he asked. No. Do you? I replied. My gaze following his to the top of the pit, where a woman and two little boys stood. I observed them briefly, before my attention was seized by the sight of zombies. Their chests bearing spray-painted numbers being tossed into the pit. Without warning, he took a quick jab at my face, causing my head to snap back. I stumbled for a moment, as the cheers drowned out the sound of the zombies smacking into the ground. Some lay chillingly still, their lives extinguished on impact. Others crawled, their spines shattered. And then, there were those that ran, unfazed by the brutality they had endured. His boot collided with my deck, propelling my body backward, back into the cage. The man seized me, his grip devoid of any care or compassion. He reared his arm back and struck again. Blood spurted forth, but from where I didn't know. Another blow, more blood. Once again, he prepared for another strike. Then warm droplets rained down upon my face. Squinting through my blood-stained left eye, I can make out two blurry figures. Oh God. Oh God, he shouted. I wiped the blood from my left eye. The right stung as I attempted to do the same. Only my left eye remained useful, allowing me to witness the gruesome scene unfold before me. A zombie tore into the man's bloody arm, flesh dangling from its lips, instead of savoring its grisly trophy. And the creature's insatiable greed drove him to seek more. Grimy, jagged teeth, housing maggots between them, ripped into the man's open wound. They huddled together, leaning over the threshold of the cage's doorway. His fingers tightened around my shirt, pulling me closer to the grotesque spectacle. Help! He screamed. As I touched the hot metal of the cage door, now slick with blood, I pulled with all my might, pinning them between the bars and the door. With determination burning in my eyes, I rose to my feet. feeling the fabric of my shirt tear under his tightening grip. My boot crashed down upon the zombie's neck, and then again, and once more, in the midst of the relentless onslaught. I felt it. The man's bloody fingers curling around my ankle. "Please," his voice pleaded, barely a whisper amidst the chaos. And so, I stomped on him next. I kicked and stomped, the weight, my grief and anger fueling every blow. I kicked and stomped until there was nothing left beneath my boots but a macabre mess of flesh and gore. And still, I kept stomping. It wasn't until strong arms pulled me away from the cage and I realized it had raised me to the surface. There were cheers, blows, and tears from his family. I had survived, and the prize was mine. As we emerged from the pit, the bustling market unfolded before me. People fought over supplies and zombies, some treating the undead as pets, laborers, or even slaves. "Well, look at our little winner." "So what do you want?" the market vendor asked. "I want a car and a zombie," I responded, a voice heavy with the weight of exhaustion. "You get one prize for the pit," he replied dismissively. "I killed a man and a zombie. That's 2 deaths. 1 prize per death. Those are the rules," I insisted. "Zombies don't count as kills," he snapped back. But I just need an old car and an old zombie," I pleaded. The man ran his fingers through his thinning hair, exhaling a weary sigh. "All right, what kind of car? And you can have one of the pit zombies." "I don't care what kind of car. And I need number 87, I stated firmly. 87? That's a low number. I might not even have." He began to protest. "I visited 4 markets, and they all said you have the lowest numbers. Please, can you just check?" I implored, desperation creeping into my voice. "Fine," he conceded. "Just keep the collar on it, or it'll go rabid." An hour later, we were on the roof. He warned me that the car wouldn't take me far, but I didn't have far to go. The tires rolled up the worn-out driveway, and I popped open the trunk to reveal the emotionless form, lost in an empty gaze. The blinking green light on your collar keeping you simple and dull. A mere shadow of who you once were. There was one slow step after another, until we were in the backyard. "Do you remember the birdhouse, Daddy? You were building in one." My voice trailed off, choked with emotions. I paused, loading 2 bullets into the revolver, my hands trembling slightly. "I finished it for you,"